Hey girlies, it's Tammy. Welcome back to my channel. So I know I've been away for a little while. I took like a little mini break from social media. I just needed a reset, you know, like my mental wasn't good. I just wasn't in a good headspace like altogether. So I decided to take a little break. Plus my kids were on half term. So I just, you know, took the week off and I decided to spend time with them, getting myself back to, you know, back to zen. And we're back now. So what better way to come back than a full face testing? So I have like the new Beauty Blender concealer. I have the Sailor Moon collection from Colourpop. I also have the new Laura Mercier primers. So I'm just gonna go ahead and throw it all on my face and we'll see what I think. So first of all, Laura Mercier dropped, I think it's 6 primers. I've taken one of them out because it was the illuminating one, so it was mixed with like a highlighter type of color, and that's not really my style of primers, but I kept all of the rest. So they have this one that comes in a dropper. It's called the Pure Canvas Power Primer, which is a supercharged essence. We're going to use a little bit of this anyway, but it doesn't say what it specifically. Also, I picked a spot. Let's just ignore that, okay? Ugh. Oh, that feels really nice and smooth and like hydrating. But they've also dropped like all of these primers depending on what skin concern you have. So there's the hydrating, the perfecting, protecting and blurring. I kind of wish they were all mixed into one. Is it just me? Like I could do with a hydrating, perfecting, protecting and blurring primer, like 4-in-1 type of thing. But I think for today I'm gonna go with the blurring primer, which looks like this. So it comes in a squeeze tube, and I'm probably just gonna squeeze onto my face. And I've actually been enjoying applying my primer with a brush. I don't know why, I just like it. So that is almost like a pore blurring primer but without the silicone feel. So it does feel really hydrating, but as it's drying down I can notice that it's kind of smoothing on my face. So far so good, but of course primer is something I need to test out for a little while to see if it like prolongs the wear of my makeup and all of that good stuff. So I was tossing and turning between using a new foundation or using the Beauty Blender foundation, because of course it will go well with their, or I'm hoping it will go well with their concealer. So I thought to give the concealer a fair shot, I'm just gonna go in with the Beauty Blender foundation, which I know I like already. So I'm gonna go in with the shade 4.15W. Don't tell me it's finished. Have I finished this foundation? Come on. Okay, well let me try use this that's on there and just spread that. It's such a good color match for me. The coverage is, I would say it's a high medium. It's not full. You can kind of build it to be full, I suppose, but to me it is a high medium. I suppose I could kind of use the concealer in the same shade to spot conceal any areas that need a little bit more coverage. Okay, so that is the foundation. Now let's go ahead and move on to the concealer. They've sent me 5 shades here, which seem to be like good shades for me. Like it does look like a good kind of gradient of colors. It's not like big jumps in between each color, which I really like. Also they did send this paper which tells you about the foundation, but also these are all of the darker shades that they offer. They do of course have the lighter and medium shades as well, but these are the darker shades. So it comes in 40 shades. Mask concern like under eye circles, discoloration and blemishes with a weightless feel. Hyaluronic acid helps moist moisture. Typically I do like a matte concealer because of course I have oily skin, but let's see. Hopefully it's not too hydrating and too slippy slidey. So this one is the same shade that I used in the foundation, and this is what the doe foot looks like. It does look to be like a very whipped type of thick consistency from what I can see on the top of the doe foot, but yeah, it is kind of like a flat-sided mini Beauty Blender type of situation. Even though the foundation covered really well, I'm gonna go ahead and use this to spot conceal little areas, and I'm gonna take my Beauty Blender and blend that in. Okay, blends in really nicely. Does seem to have good coverage, like it has covered up my blemishes. So now for underneath my eyes, I'm gonna go ahead and take the shade 4.05W Tan Pecan, and I'm gonna draw this underneath my eyes, and then I'm gonna just blend it in straight away. I'm not gonna let it like sit or anything. It is quite a thick concealer. Wow, full coverage as well, but it's not heavy. Wow, that coverage is amazing. I'm gonna take that on top of my lid as well. Oh, I should have done side by side. Sorry guys. Now I really hope this dries down just a little bit because it is looking a little bit kind of wet still. Yeah, it is looking pretty dewy underneath my eyes right now, which is not typically my style, so I am hoping it dries down. So I am going to cream contour quickly. I'm going to take my Revolution foundation stick and just go around the outside. I wish I did have a darker shade in the Beauty Blender concealer to contour with, especially because I know they do the darker shades, but it's fine. Okay, so I think that was pretty long enough, you know, while I did my cream contour, and it still doesn't seem to be drying down. So I do feel like it is a hydrating type of concealer, which is fine as long as it kind of lasts throughout the days and doesn't start like moving around. But I do typically prefer a matte concealer, so I'm just gonna go ahead and set this quickly. It is creasing a little bit. I don't have a new setting powder, so I'm just gonna use my Laura Mercier powder, and I'm gonna press that into the skin. I forgot to ask, how have you guys been? What is new in your life? What is going on? Let me know all of that good stuff. Now that I've set it, I can see it's not super full coverage underneath my eyes. There is a little bit of shadowing going on here, so I wish maybe I went in with another layer, but when it wasn't set, it did look full coverage. But now that I've gone ahead and set it, I can see like a little bit of darkness underneath my eyes here. It's not that bad though, like it's not light coverage. It definitely is medium. So if you do like medium coverage hydrating concealers, I feel like you would really like this one. For me, I feel like I might need to use it again, build up a couple layers. I don't know, I'm on the fence, but it's not a bad concealer. I just don't feel like it's my top 5 at the moment. Moving on to eyeshadow, I have the new Sailor Moon collection from Colourpop. I've never seen Sailor Moon before in my life, but loads of people were like super excited for this collection. This is what the packaging looks like, and this is what the shades look like. Very kind of pastel, very light, airy fairy colors. So what I think I'm gonna do as a base is take one of the new Huda Beauty melted shadow shades, and this is the shade French Lace. It's kind of like a lilac purple. I thought this would make a good base for the pastel shadows we're gonna go in with, because it is like a pastel purple. What do you think of this new pastel trend? Like even Huda Beauty's coming out with new pastel palettes. Are you into pastels? Are you just not into it? I'm not mad at it, but it's not my go-to style. I do prefer deep dark looks compared to light, you know, pastel. But I can get on board for spring, you know, but not forever. So I'm just gonna go ahead and pat that out. These do dry down, and once you blend them out, they're not that pigmented, but I thought it would just make a nice base for the shadows. I feel like I like pastels on other people more than I like it on me. I'm gonna take this purple here. It's kind of like a purple pink shade called Miracle Romance, and this I'm gonna pat all over the lid. Personally, I wouldn't have bought this palette. It was sent to me in PR, but I wouldn't have purchased it because the colors are just not me. Like these really light pastel colors are not my vibe, but I'm testing it out for those of you that like Sailor Moon but also like pastels. This would be a good palette for you, I guess. So far so good. There's no fallout or anything, and the shade is applying really nice and vibrant. I think I'm gonna go ahead and blend that shade out with the shade next to it here, which is kind of like a coral, and it's called Love. And I'm just gonna use that on the edge. This one does have a little bit of sparkle glitter in it, and it does show up on the eyes. Really subtle, but it is a really nice kind of glittery sparkle. Simple yet statement. That's what I'm getting from this look. I'm also going to take that Love shade underneath my lower lash line. And the more I'm looking at this concealer, like it's actually not that bad. Not every day full 10-10 coverage. Sometimes, you know, 8. Sometimes tone it down a little bit, you know. Sometimes. Now for my inner corner, I'm going to go into this gorgeous purple shade over here, which is called Luna. On the inner corner, that is a gorgeous lilac-y purple, very similar to the one that's in my Carnival palette. From the shades that I've used, which was what, 3 shades, it seems to be typical Colourpop quality, which is really nice pigmented shadows, blend really well, apply really well. It's just if you like the color story or not, and me personally, I'm not really a fan. So also in the collection, they came out with these body glitters, which look absolutely stunning, but they've called it body glitter, which means it's not eye safe. They do have really chunky particles in there. And then they came out with blushes, so I'm going to use this today. There's 2 shades. One is called Cat's Eye, and these have really cool like color packaging changing, what is it called, picture changing packaging. So this is Cat's Eye, which is kind of like a coral shimmer blush, and then they also have From the Moon, which also has color changing, picture changing packaging, and this is more pinky and this one is matte. So I think I'm going to mix both. I mean, why not? I'm gonna take a light dusting of both. They look to be super pigmented. I'm just gonna go ahead and spread that all over my cheeks and my nose. Don't you feel like everyone's gotten into blush lately, guys? Like everyone just can't get enough blush, and I am so on that train as well. Oh my god, okay, maybe these are a bit too light, a bit too pinky, but I guess pastel light vibes is what we're going for today. So I'm gonna layer up this blush, kind of connect it to my eyeshadow as well. I do feel like if you are like maybe darker than me, these blushes won't be any good for you, because even on me they're like slightly too light, but because of the look that I'm going for today, you know, pastel cutie, it kind of goes with the vibe. But I don't know if I'd use these again. These are my top 3 blushes at the moment. This is the LA Girl Just Blushing in Just for Fun, which is this gorgeous bright neon coral orange, and then of course Technic Shimmer Blusher, I've mentioned so many times, in Indian Summer, and this one is like a golden orange gorgeous glow blush. And then a new one I got in my collection is by KVD Vegan Beauty, and this is called Poppy, and it is another kind of corally orange blush. So those are my top 3 that I go for on a daily basis. I don't really go for pinky blushes like this, so I'm just gonna quickly go off camera and do my line art, lashes, and then I'll come back so we can do lips. Okay guys, so I went ahead and added some little wings, and lashes. Now we're gonna go in with lips. So of course in the collection there are 2 lip kits, which look, not lip kits, but lip bundles. They both look so similar to me. So one is called Daylight and one is called Moonlight. So the Daylight one looks like this. So it has like a gold lip gloss and then a pinky ultra blotted lip, and then the Moonlight one looks like this. Do they not look so similar? Like, they look so similar. Okay, the glosses are different, but the 2 blotted lips are both pinky type of fuchsia colors, but the 2 glosses look really cute, and they could be used as like lip toppers if you want. One is like pinky coral and then one is like orangey gold. I think I'm gonna go for the pinky one today just so it goes with my eye look. But for lip liner, I have these 3 new lip liners from Kevyn Aucoin that they came out with. It's called their Unforgettable Lip Definer. I think I'm gonna take the brownie shade, which is called New Naked, and I'm just gonna define my lips with that. Super creamy, and I love brown lip liners. It's really quite sheer but really glossy, and I quite like the brush tip applicator. I think this would be a good, it's a good gloss by itself, but I think it would be a good lip topper. So if I use like a nude gloss and then topped it with this, it would be very glossy, but also it has micro glitters in it. I might go in with this ultra blotted lip in Usagi, I think it's called, just a little bit. I've never used an ultra blotted lip, so I have no idea what type of formula it is. I'm just gonna apply that much just to add a pinky tint to the lip. Okay, so here we have the finished look. What do you think? I think it's really cute and like girly, you know, like pinky pastel blush pink with glossy lip. You don't really get much more girly than this, in my opinion. I'm gonna go ahead and like fix my hair and stuff, and I'll hit you with the final look. Okay guys, and I'm back. So here we have the final look. Overall, I feel like it's been a very successful testing day. I just looked at myself in like daylight in the mirror as well, and like my face looks really flawless. It doesn't look cakey. So I really like the combination of the Beauty Blender foundation with the concealer, giving me full coverage, really nice and lightweight, but also like it looks really nice like in real life. It doesn't just look thick and cakey like tons of makeup. So I do really like the 2 combined. Like I said, I'm gonna have to keep trying the concealer, but so far it's left a good impression on me, but it's not like the greatest concealer that I have so far. That's my opinion, like my first impressions. I kind of gave you guys my thoughts on the Sailor Moon palette and collection already. I really like the glosses. The palette color story is not really my thing, but if you do like the color story, or you do like, you know, Sailor Moon and you've watched all the stuff and you're like into it, then definitely go for it. It is a good quality palette, as you can see from the colors on my eyes, but it's just not my type of color story. So yeah, that is my thoughts on everything, guys. Let me know yours down in the comments section. Have you tried the oh, I forgot to say, the Beauty Blender concealer is not actually coming to the UK till summer, but it is out in the USA. So if you are a USA subscriber, let me know if you're planning on picking it up, or if you have it already, what your thoughts are, all of that good stuff. Please give this video a thumbs up, make sure you are subscribed, hit that subscribe button, and I'll catch you guys in my next one. Take care, bye.